All right, today we are jumping headfirst into one of the Bible's biggest, most fascinating mysteries, the Great Harlot from the book of Revelation. We're talking about a figure of incredible power and wealth who's right at the center of a world-changing prophecy. So let's get right into the vision that has had people guessing for centuries. Wow. The vision kicks off with this incredibly powerful and honestly pretty terrifying image. You've got a woman, a bizarre scarlet beast, and she's described as being drunk on the blood of the saints. It's a scene that has absolutely captivated and, really confused readers for thousands of years. So that's the big question, right? Who is she? What does all of this mean? That's the mystery we're going to tackle. Using our source text, we're going to follow the clues piece by piece to decode her identity and really get to the bottom of what this ancient prophecy is all about. Our investigation starts with the name that's literally written on her forehead: Mystery Babylon the Great. Now, according to our source, this isn't just some random label. It's the master key. It's the clue that unlocks this whole thing. And get this, the name Babylon shows up 287 times in the Bible. Think about that. That's more than any other city except for Jerusalem. That kind of frequency is a huge clue that we're not just talking about some old city in the desert. This has to be something much, much bigger. And here's the most crucial point to grasp. Revelation isn't talking about the ancient city in modern-day Iraq. No, our source defines Babylon as a spiritual idea. It's a code word for the entire global system of power, money, and culture that, at its core, stands against God. So what does that world system actually look like? Well, it's all about organized false religion, pride, hurting God's people, and just a deep, consuming love for stuff, for material things. The source makes it clear that this system has always existed. It just changes its mask in every generation. Okay, now let's zoom in on the two main characters in this drama. We have the woman, the harlot, and that scarlet beast she's riding. Their relationship is everything. It's totally symbolic, and it's right at the heart of this prophecy. So let's start with the harlot herself. Check out what she's wearing: purple and scarlet. Back then, those colors were crazy expensive. Only royalty, the absolute elite, could afford them. So her clothes are an instant sign that she represents massive wealth and political clout. And it doesn't stop with the clothes. She is literally covered in gold, precious stones, and pearls. This isn't subtle at all. The vision paints her as the poster child for worldly luxury. She symbolizes a system that is just so seductive because of all the riches it offers. But here's the twist. She's holding this beautiful golden cup. Looks amazing on the outside, right? But inside, it's full of corruption. Now, our source points out that in the Bible, the word fornication is very often used as a symbol for idolatry, for being spiritually unfaithful. So she's offering the world something that looks good, but is spiritually toxic. So let's just break this down very clearly. You've got two figures. The harlot, Babylon, stands for a single, worldwide, false religious system. The beast she's riding on, that represents the ultimate global political power, what the source identifies as the government of the Antichrist. It's a classic you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours relationship. The political power holds her up, and in return, she makes that power look legitimate, even holy. Now, to make it even clearer who this harlot is, our source gives us this fantastic side-by-side comparison. See, Revelation actually shows us two symbolic women. There's another woman from an earlier chapter who represents God's people. She's dressed in the sun and stars. But the harlot, she's the mother of harlots, draped in jewels and influencing kings. They are total opposites, cosmic enemies. And what about the beast? The source says its 7 heads represent 7 world empires that have persecuted God's people throughout history. The prophecy even gives us a timeline. When it was written, 5 were already gone. Think Egypt, Assyria, ancient Babylon. 1 that was the Roman Empire at the time, and a final 7th empire has not yet come, which the source says is the future empire of the Antichrist. So here you have this incredible alliance, a global religious system and a global political system working together. You'd think they're unstoppable. But then the vision hits us with a massive plot twist, a sudden, shocking, and violent betrayal. So here's the play-by-play. The political power, the beast, uses the religious system, the harlot, to gain total control. But as soon as its power is absolute, well, it doesn't need her anymore. The beast and its allies will literally turn on the very religious system that put them in power, and they will completely destroy it. So, why? What's the motive for this shocking turn? The source connects it right to this passage. See, the ultimate goal of this final world leader isn't to share the stage. It's to demand worship for himself and himself alone. Once that false religion has done its job uniting the world, it becomes competition, and he's going to get rid of it. Okay, so what in the world does all of this mean for us today? This is a complex ancient vision, but our source wraps it up by explaining why this symbol of Babylon the Great is truly timeless. And this, right here, is the main takeaway. Babylon isn't just about some one-world religion in the distant future. According to the source, it's the constant, ever-present temptation of the world system, that seductive mix of money, power, and spiritually empty religion that has been around in every single era, including right now. The vision ends by calling the harlot the great city that rules the world. Back in the 1st century, that was obviously Rome. But the text leaves us with one final, really provocative question to think about. If Babylon is the system of global influence, power, and wealth, where do we see that great city at work in our world today?